set my heart afire.
Hi, Show Sponge, welcome back to another tank review. This tank review, I'm talking about the Charlemagne. This is a tier 8 bond, I believe, bond tank that you can unlock in the bond, or obviously you can buy in the bond shop. And I gotta say, it's a unique tank. I'll take you over to the tank statistics. Okay, tank statistics. The weaponry on this tank, it's nothing special. I'm not gonna lie. After playing it, it is quite a challenging tank to play. But I managed to get an okay battle out of it. Anyway, I digress. The statistics is what I'm actually here for. The weaponry. We start off with the DPM with 1648 DPM. You do 440 damage per shot with 220 millimeters of penetration with the standard rounds, and the premium rounds, which is also AP, you get 270 mils of penetration. It is almost 120 mil caliber gun. Shell velocity on the standard rounds is honestly a no joke. It is actually only 597 meters per second shell velocity. You might as well be playing the Hawk 12. It carries 60 rounds of ammo, and shell cost is relatively cheap. However, if we also go to the premium rounds, the shell velocity does almost go up to 1,000 meters per second, but still, you have to literally really aim those shells if you want to hit those moving targets. And also, the shell cost of it does go up quite a bit to 4,800 shells, the credits per shot. This thing moves at 35 k's an hour, reverses at 15. Has a 750 horsepower, 700 horsepower engine and 16.67 power to weight ratio. Plus, with the ground resistances, you're not going to really move as quick as you really hoped. It does have a 15-degree gun elevation and 10-degree gun depression. Onto the hull, it has armor. It has 130 meters hull at the front. It has 70 on the side and 30 on the rear. 170 front on the turret, 80 on the side, and 70 on the rear turret. It starts off to have a 1500 HP, and it also, with just 100% crew, it has 380 meters view range. Alrighty, now with the comparison with the Charlemagne, I have compared it with the Cax and the Carnarvon, the other two tier 8 British heavy tanks. So in the comparison, sadly, the Charlemagne has lower DPM than the other two tanks. It has the same penetration as the Carnarvon, but not quite as good as the Cax. Charlemagne hits harder than the other two tanks. Rate of fire is significantly worse than the other two tanks in this comparison. The same with the reload time, which I actually didn't mention in the statistics of the reload time is being 16.1 second with just 100% crew, which kind of makes this a very slow firing tank. Shell velocity, as I mentioned, it has a very slow shell velocity, so it's a lot worse to the other tanks in this comparison, by almost half of the Cax. It carries more shells than both the other tanks. Aim time, which I also think this mentioned in the statistics, is 3.36. It is a little bit worse than the other two tanks. It's the dispersion is 0.42. Again, slightly worse of the other two British tanks, UK tanks. Um, 10 degrees of gun depression across the board. Reverse speed, it's slightly faster on reverse on the other two tanks. The engine power is slightly worse than the other two tanks in the comparison. This tank weighs a lot less than the other two tanks. Power to weight, it has slightly worse than the CAX, but better than the Carnarvon, which is the Tech 3 variant. The armor, it has basically the same armor on the whole, but the CAX has worse side armor but better rear armor, and the Carnarvon has better side armor and better rear armor. The turret, on the other hand, the other two tanks beat it quite a bit in armor on the other two tanks in this comparison. The shell cost, it's sorry the shell cost, it is a little bit more expensive to fire than the other two tanks, and also the view range. It has the same view range as the CAX, but the Carnarvon has better view range at 400 meters. Now, those are the statistics and the comparison that I have chosen that I feel that needs to be compared against this tank. Now, I'm going to chuck you over to a replay that I have managed to do within this tank. I do not do commentary, but I'll see you back over in the post-game stats. Alrighty, welcome back. What do you think of that game? Quite a close game, if you ask me. At the end there, you may have noticed that I made a few misplays. Yeah, my hand was shaking like this in tomorrow. So unfortunately, yes, that was a defeat. But that was an ace tanker. I've got the bruiser, fire perfect. I've got 25 bonds and 172,000 credits. The high caliber that I managed to do with the 4,544 damage, 2 kills, 914 base experience. I fired 22, 19 hit, 11 penge, 1 splash, but that's from that 1 HE shell that I fired to kill that tank. I blocked 4,520, and I managed to get 103,944 credits after tax after firing the gold and the repairs that I had to do. And that game lasted for about just 12.5 minutes. So overall, that's not a bad result if you ask me. Admittedly, yes, I do need to control my nerves in those situations, but holy shit, it really got to me on the end. Alright, well that is my tank review on the Charlemagne. I hope you do like this tank review. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment down below what you think of the tank, and also please give me some feedback on these videos, because I really do need some feedback to try and make my recordings, my tank reviews, all that jazz better. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next tank review.